When you think of Punch-Out merchandise, the first and possibly only item that comes to mind is the Little Mac amiibo released for Smash Bros. It's certainly the most well-known and easiest to find, but what if I told you that's just the tip of the iceberg? Over the past 40 years, there has been a surprising amount of Punch-Out merchandise released. From rare vintage toys to clothing that causes cancer, I tried my best to find every piece of official Punch-Out merchandise and divided them into 5 categories, starting off with toys and figures. In 1988, the toy company Hasbro released 3 sets of trophy figures for Nintendo's most popular IPs at the time, including Mario, Zelda, and Punch-Out. 6 Punch-Out figures were released based on Punch-Out for NES. They made Little Mac up against Glass Joe, King Hippo, Great Tiger, Piston Honda, Bald Bull, and my personal favorite character, Super Macho Man.
Release the focus!
Each figure had a spot where you can write your name, the date, and the high score for the corresponding fight. I love the arcade-style packaging on these and how each one depicts different poses. This was also the first time the world got to see these characters in 3D, and like most transitions, it was a little rough for some, but charming and cool as hell nonetheless. I mean, they did the best with what they had at the time. The backdrops though, I get they were going for the 8-bit audience, but it kinda just looks like the Paris catacombs. A year later, a set of 12 2.5-inch scale Nintendo figures featuring King Hippo and Little Mac were released by Applause Toys. And released that same year by Largo Toys were 4 mini handheld games with set games and rules on the back of the packaging. Speaking of the packaging, I love this vintage art. I believe that's it for toys and figures. Next up is clothing. For the release of 2009's Punch-Out Wii, the Heavyweight Contender Kit was available for purchase, exclusive to Amazon for $30. The kit featured items primarily based on King Hippo, including a replica of his crown with the Punch-Out logo engraved, and his infamous Power Star shorts that include an inviting cancer warning. Damn it! I'd love to rock King Hippo's underwear, but if I ever do get my hands on a pair, I guess I'll save myself the cancer and just display them. That's it for clothing in the kit. I'll touch on the rest of its contents later on. Also for the launch of Punch-Out Wii, a tournament was held at the Nintendo World Store located in New York City. Promotional t-shirts featuring Little Mac and the logo were handed out, as well as the grand prize for first place, Mac's iconic pink hoodie. That's insane. I had no idea Nintendo made an official version, but it's practically begging to be sold. I see so many cosplay it. I was only able to find just one photo of it, and no one seems to have it listed for sale anywhere. There's gotta be at least one person out there who owns it. Here's another one I was only able to find one photo of. Apparently these boxing gloves were given out to the press at Gamescom in 2008. Alright, back to the 80s. I hope you like hats because there's a lot of them. Like this baseball cap featuring a blonde Glass Joe that I found 8 different colorways of. Who knows, there's probably even more out there. My personal favorite is the red as it complements his gloves and the font well. There's also this style of baseball cap in 3 different colors, and this singular blue and red cap that supposedly was a Nintendo Power exclusive. And check out this too! Oh, sorry, I mean beanie. That's my Canadian showing. There seems to be 2 variations out there, one with and without a palm. And how about these gloves and mittens? I was only able to find them listed in children's size. That's it for clothing. Next up, trading cards. In 1989, the card company Topps made scratch-off cards featuring every opponent in Punch-Out NES except for Mike Tyson or Mr. Dream. And for some reason, Mr. Sandman is white? Also released were the set of sticker cards with tips for various Nintendo games on the backside and more of that lovely vintage artwork paired with some onomatopoeia. That's exactly the noise I'd expect when hitting King Hippo's belly. There's this lenticular card of Little Mac sporting the same art style from the game's manual. And lastly, there's 2 Nintendo Power exclusive cards, one released in 1990 for Punch-Out featuring Mr. Dream, and the other in '94 for Super Punch-Out. That's all for cards, on to the next round. Alright, let's start off with pins. Here's a lenticular pin from 1989 featuring Piston Honda flexing. And for the release of Super Punch-Out in 1994, this promotional pin was given out to Toys R Us employees. Next up, tattoos. In the 80s, 25 cents would get you a stick of gum and a sheet of Nintendo-themed tattoos. Several Punch-Out characters were included alongside Mario and Zelda tats. And for stickers, several packs of the official video game stick-ons featured the likes of Punch-Out as well. I also found this bumper decal for Punch-Out Wii that says, "Hells yeah, Little Mac is back." Not too sure on the origin of that one, but I'd definitely slap it on my car. This one's really interesting. Punch-Out iron-ons. And lastly, I found a TV with a suction cup on it featuring a lenticular King Hippo. And that same design, but this time in magnet form.
Remember,
King Hippo.
he's back!
In magnet form. There's also yet another lenticular sticker, I believe, of Bald Bull versus Little Mac. This next round will be the last, and will be miscellaneous items that didn't quite fit into any other category. The other items in the heavyweight contender kit from earlier include a mini inflatable King Hippo punching bag and an edible Doc Lewis Remedy chocolate bar. Doc's favorite is apparently Belgian milk chocolate. When searching for physical Club Nintendo redemptions, all I was able to find was this little set of boxing gloves that you can hang on your rearview mirror, exclusive to Club Nintendo Europe. Here's a Super Punch-Out boxing glove keychain given out exclusively to retail employees, just like the pin. And these last two items are some of the coolest yet. Check out this vintage trash tin from 1988. I also found a yellow variant. Also available on Amazon for the release of Punch-Out Wii was this insanely cool framed boxing glove signed by Little Mac. At the time it retailed for $90, but now, expect to pay an arm and a leg. And that goes for most of the merchandise covered in this video. That was every piece of official Punch-Out merchandise I could find. I hope I didn't miss anything. Most of these items are incredibly rare and very expensive. All I own personally is the Amiibo, as well as all the Topps cards. While Punch-Out hasn't received a new entry in 15 years, the passion for it is still out there. Who knows, maybe one day we'll see a new game, and with it, some fresh new merch. Thanks for watching.